Hi, everybody. I'm Dorothy, professional astrologer. You can find me at nhastrologer.com for your own personal private sessions, and private mentorship programs are there. Today, we're going to talk about the full moon lunar eclipse on May 26th. Now, it's in the sign of Sagittarius, so it's very fiery, very dynamic. It is early in the morning here in the United States. Let me pull up the first chart. Wait a minute, I should probably screen share first. Let me grab that. I want to screen share with us. Yes, here we are. All right, here's what the eclipse looks like. So what do we do with the full moon? First off, a lot of us know what this is. It is an illuminating time period of the month. And it is when that we can really see what is happening around us, see what it is we need to pay attention to. We're also going to be able to see, what really has come to a head. What is our main focus right now? Now, when we do have an opposition, that's what this is. The sun's in Gemini and the moon's over here in Sagittarius. You can see right there with those lunar nodes. That means this is an eclipse when they're this close. What we have going on here is like information, that's that Gemini, but Sagittarius is about action, and it's about expansion, and it's about discovering who you are and discovering your truth, and a culmination of cooperation and collaboration, whether it's a business partner, a partner, any of these things. So we have this opportunity with this full moon eclipse to really engage in things that are important to us, and the things that we know right now need our full attention. And if something needs our full attention, then that means we're going to have to release some things that have really not amounted to much. All right. So it's just like putting things to the back burner. But some people like to use the full moon time period. And when it's an eclipse, it's much more powerful. But they like to use the full moon to release things. So you write down what you don't want in your life and you release it. Well, I want you to more so with this is to focus on the thing that, is dominant in your life, that requires all of your attention right now. The full moons do that. Full moons bring us into this place of recognition and understanding. And sometimes it can be, since this is an opposition, it can be from another person showing us and telling us and recognize, us, helping us to recognize what needs to go on in our own life, right? So that's what this chart is. This is the chart of the full moon eclipse. And, with so much Gemini here, and then that little bit of Sagittarius, there's a lot to be said for that, for us to find our truth, for us to share what we know, to really, it's a wonderful culmination. This is the time of year that, at least here in the United States, where a lot of the higher education colleges and are graduating, or the year is over. So that would be a focus. Now, over the last 18 months, we've had quite a trip, right? Down that rocky road of everything we've been going through. And this is a significant turning point in that whole scenario and that whole dialogue of what we've been going through on, a global scale. Sagittarius is always about the bigger picture, foreign countries and things like that. So right now, it's like, maybe that doesn't matter to you. Maybe you are more focused and your interests are other things. So here's some more Sagittarius qualities and Sagittarius things that are important for us. So being more adventurous, traveling. I mean, who isn't sick of staying home? Some of us aren't, but this is an opportunity for us to recognize like how much we have not been traveling and how much we really want to get out there and move and go places and explore life again. That is what we're doing. This full moon may even make you realize how much you do miss traveling and miss getting out there. Other things that Sagittarius can bring up for some of us, this might not be everything on your list, But for some of us, again, it's, colleges and professors and teachers and that higher education. I know I already mentioned that, but just to recap that piece. What else we have going on? Publishing houses, writers, wisdom, right? What's going on with that in your life? Anything? You have to ask these things you have to ask yourself these questions. Am I really looking to publish something? Do I want to begin a writing project? That's the next eclipse, that new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. Mercury is retrograde in Gemini soon as well. So it's really getting close to that. It's slowing down. It's not even moving at all right now with this full moon eclipse on May 26th. Mercury's pretty much standstill. So with this full moon lunar eclipse, I want you to pay attention to the biggest issue in your life. Pay attention to how you are expanding the things that are important to you, how you are out there engaging your mind, and what is it that you want to do. If you are interested in doing those releasing rituals, then you look at what is keeping you busy and what needs your attention, and the other things will just sort of go to the back burner. If you feel you want to write and release, then wait a couple of days. The moon needs to move through that full moon phase before we start writing and releasing. And that's 45 degrees. And depending on the speed of the moon, I know this is the sciencey piece, it could take a few days. I can let you know if you really need to know, message me and I will tell you when it gets into the next lunar phase. So about that, now we have a thing called lunar phase families. So if you've been following me a while, you know I mention these once in a while, but not always. But every new moon, first quarter, full moon, last quarter, they are related, and that is related, and it takes a 3-year cycle. So 18 months ago, I'm going to go do a new share here, if it will let me. And make sure we're sharing the right chart. Yes, I am. Excellent. 18 months ago on November 26th, you can see the date in the corner. 18 months ago on November 26, 2019, new moon, 4 degrees of Sagittarius. The full moon that we have, May 26th, is 5 Sag. So this is the beginning of a 3-year cycle that this eclipse coming up on May 26th is connected to. So these are dates you're going to be able to look back, see what you began, what had begun. You don't know. Maybe you knew, maybe you didn't. Maybe you do new moon rituals. Maybe you set intentions at every new moon, and maybe something was just going on behind the scenes that you can see clearly what that was that began in November, the end of November 2019. So pay attention to that. Look at your journals. I like to just use my calendar. I have my Llewellyn book. I just use my calendars because I don't journal much anymore. And I'm telling you too. What can I say? I do a lot of writing. So by the time it comes to my own personal stuff, I don't have it in me most of the time. So new moon is connected to full moon. New moon, November 2019, connected to full moon. Here it is, lunar eclipse, May 26th. See that number? It's the same where my mouse is turning. Next one. So November 26, 2019, 9 months later, first quarter, look at, here they are, the moon and the sun are square, Sag, Virgo, right in the same area, not in the chart, in the degrees, right around, this is at 2.5, 2, almost 3. What happens at this? This is August 25th, 2020. When we get to the first quarter, this is like, what have we learned? What is now sprouting that began in November 2019? What's going on? This is the same timeline for the virus, by the way, that we know of. It's all within just weeks. We know the first cases were somewhere in December, but then again, who knows, right? We only get so much information. So I think this is a timeline with the virus, and that's as far down that deep, dark hole I'm going to go. All right. But I feel there's something going on here too. But let's bring it back to personal. So let me give you the timeline. The new moon, November 2019. What did you begin? Sagittarius related, of course. I already listed all of those things. 9 months later, August 25th, 2020, we will be able to see what we began back then pay attention to those dates. It's really important. I hope this isn't too confusing. And then here we are, full moon, 5 degrees of Sagittarius. It's an eclipse. So that makes this lunar phase family a very important one for you to pay attention to. So I want you just to look back. And if you need this personally explained, get a hold of me. Join my Patreon. We do this, we go through this in depth in my Patreon membership. So you're welcome to join me there too. So back to today, that's it. We're right there. I'm going to stop my share. So I want you to focus on what you need to accomplish. That's going to be like the best way to use this energy. All right. Very good. Blessings. Namaste.